Welcome to the TAMELA Podcast, where we thrive above mistakes and embrace living authentically. I'm your host, Tamela Smith, and I created this space just for you, the dreamers, the doers, the leaders, the believers, and even the ones still figuring it out. Together, we'll have real conversations about growth, courage, leadership, and purpose. We'll explore how to rise above fear, silence self-doubt, and create a life that reflects who we are becoming, and who we are destined to be. Today, we're talking about resilience, the ability to bounce back stronger. Because rejection, disappointment, and challenges will come. But resilience is what allows us to not just survive them, but to grow through them. Resilience takes courage. It's the decision to rise again when everything in you wants to stay down. Resilience and courage walk hand in hand. Courage faces the storm, and resilience carries you through it. Resilience is courage in motion, not just standing back up, but learning and growing as you do. It's not about pretending you're fine or forcing yourself to smile when you're hurting. True resilience is the strength to acknowledge the struggle and still choose to rise. I want you to think of a tree in the middle of a storm. The wind is fierce, the rain is heavy. The tree bends with the wind. It sways under the pressure. Maybe, it even loses some leaves or branches. But when the storm passes, the tree is still standing. It may look different, scarred by what it went through, but it remains rooted and anchored. That's resilience. Not avoiding the storm, but enduring it and continuing to stand. Resilience is also about perspective. It's asking, what can this teach me? Instead of, why me? It's believing that even though the situation may not change right away, I can change in the process. And that change isn't always physical. Often, it's mental and emotional. So how do you change in the middle of something hard? I call it the 3 C's of change. 1, change your mindset. Shift from defeat to determination. Ask yourself, what is this moment teaching me? 2, change your conversation. Notice what you're telling yourself. Replace lies with truth, self-criticism with self-compassion. 3, change your choices. Take small intentional actions that help you rise. Journaling, breathing before reacting, leaning on support, and setting boundaries. You may not control the situation, but you can control your mindset, your conversation, and your choices. And that inner change makes you stronger for whatever comes next. You see, resilience showed up in my life when I faced a painful professional rejection. I had prepared for an opportunity I believed was mine. I put in the work. I really put in the work. I prayed, I showed up ready, but the answer was still no. At first, I really felt crushed. And I questioned myself, was I not good enough? Did I miss something? Was I a failure? I replayed those questions over and over. And the more I repeated them, the heavier the disappointment became. Resilience doesn't mean you don't feel pain. It means you decide what you're going to do with the pain. I realized I had a choice. I could stay stuck in defeat, or I could practice resilience. Here's how the 3 C's of change showed up for me in that season. My mindset. My first thought was, you'll never measure up, Tamela. But slowly I shifted my thinking. I began to ask, what can this teach me? That one shift helped me see the rejection not as an ending, but as a redirection. My conversation, my inner dialogue was harsh. I kept saying, you should have done better. You're not capable. But I started speaking differently. You did your best. This no does not define you. There is still more inside of you. Changing my self-talk gave me new confidence. And then 3, my choices. Finally, I had to act differently. I chose to show up to the next opportunity instead of shrinking back. I chose to journal my lessons instead of burying them. I chose to lean on my support system instead of isolating myself. Each small choice reminded me that I still had power. Looking back now, that no didn't break me, but instead it built me. It made me stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the doors that would open later. So let me share some gems with you that carried me through that season. Rejection is not the end, it's redirection. Sometimes rejection is protection, a closed door that can be the greatest gift. Your value isn't up for debate. Just like gold doesn't lose its worth, if someone walks past it, your worth doesn't change if someone overlooks it. Rejection doesn't reduce your value, it reveals your resilience. Let's take a meaningful pause together. Sometimes life moves so fast, or hits us so hard that we tend to forget to stop and realign. This is our moment together to breathe, to reset, and to center ourselves. Breathe. Inhale deeply. Hold it and exhale slowly. And as you breathe, picture yourself taking in strength and letting go of fear. Release. Let go of the negative conversation you've been repeating in your mind. Create space for truth, for peace, and for clarity. Believe. Believe that even one small choice can help you rise. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just trust the step you're taking right now. Become. Step into becoming stronger, wiser, and more grounded as you align your mindset, your words, and your actions. One breath, one release, one belief, one step at a time. Resilience is not something you build once and then have forever. It's a daily practice. And here are 5 ways to build resilience every day. 1, reframe failure as feedback. Don't just ask what went wrong. Ask, what did I learn? 2, celebrate small wins. Every step forward is proof you're moving. 3, surround yourself with support. People who remind you of your strength will carry you when you can't carry yourself. 4, practice compassion. Resilience doesn't mean being hard on yourself. It means being honest and gentle, admitting the struggle while still choosing to grow. 5, stay rooted in your why. Remember what matters most to you, your purpose, your values, your vision. That reminder becomes your anchor in the storms. Resilience grows in practice, not perfection. Resilience isn't built in the big moments alone. It's shaped in the quiet moments of reflection. Let these 5 questions guide you this week. And if you can, grab a journal or open the Notes app on your phone and write them down. I will also provide the questions in the comments. You see, writing helps you see your thoughts clearly and gives you something to return to later. Which of the 3 C's of change do I need to focus on most right now? My mindset, my conversation, or my choices? What's one negative thought I can reframe into a lesson? What's one word of truth I can start speaking over myself? What's one small, intentional choice I can make this week that builds resilience? What is my why, and how can I let it anchor me when life gets hard? Resilience becomes real when you put it into practice. One thought, one word, one choice at a time. Thank you for joining me for today's episode of the TAMELA Podcast. Remember this, resilience is the proof that your story doesn't end in the setback. It begins in the comeback. Until next time, keep breathing, keep releasing, keep believing, and most of all, keep becoming. I'm Tamela Smith, and I can't wait to grow with you.